my best advice in that situation is kind of ease into it and try and understand before trying to be understood.
What up, y'all?
Josh and Isi here once again
With another quality video. We are back with another Therapy Thursday DM edition. Okay, this is our first time doing it via DMs. For the record, if you have no idea what Therapy Thursday is, yada yada yada, basically our followers get to send in relationship advice questions for us to give our personal opinion on based off experiences we've had. We don't try to claim that we are therapists.
We are not.
We just use therapy as like a theme.
Alliteration is beautiful.
Yeah, but we don't want anybody to think like we are like licensed or anything like that.
Definitely not licensed therapists, trust me.
So we're really excited to actually try this out because we did a different version this time, the DM edition. So this shall be interesting. There's a lot of them that are super long. That's why we opened up the DMs, but we aren't going to be able to get to everything. However, there's always an opportunity to do another video.
There's plenty of Thursdays to come.
Yeah.
So I mean,
definitely.
we got plenty of Thursdays for it. But if you are new to the channel and you're not necessarily a part of Quality Crew just yet, there's a little funky button down there that looks just like this. Go ahead and just tap that button real quick. It costs you nothing, but it'll do us so much justice if you help us out. So go ahead and just hit that. Then just stick around, watch the video. You know, we're not gonna tell you to just subscribe off rip. You know, you gotta.
Well, I'm gonna tell you to go ahead and subscribe because we are a vibe over here, and Quality Crew will vouch for that.
Okay, so she says that. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If you don't trust it, go ahead and just watch this video, and I guarantee you, you will be hitting subscribe by the end of this video. And once you do that, there's another button that has like a little bell, little ding 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 ding. Yeah, it'll notify you every time we post, and we post pretty often, so.
Might as well hit that bell
Might as
too.
well.
And all that's said and done.
Let's get into this video. I'm gonna go first. I'm just gonna like
randomly choose.
Okay, this one's long. Okay, so this one said, "Hey y'all, new subby this last month. Turn up. See, I'm telling you. Welcome to Quality Crew. I'm sort of in this situationship for about 5 months now, but the guy won't confirm what we are. Won't express his feelings towards me and gets upset when I blow up about how my emotions are affected because he's not giving me the clarity that I need. He makes an excuse about how he doesn't like that I go off out of the blue, but never acknowledges his faults. I just want some advice on how to say to him to work it out or what to say to leave him alone. By the way, I'm a Virgo, just like Easy."
Hey, all right, Virgo sis.
Okay.
Drop him.
At this point, I would say like he's playing. Yeah, he's showing a lot of signs that he's like on the fence about it. If he
wants to keep her around, but not to the point of wifing her, or not wifing, giving the title to what they are.
Let me just lay this out real quick. If a guy wants to be in a relationship and you ask what we are,
he will tell you.
He's gonna make his intentions very clear.
He wants you to be his just as much as you want him to be yours.
Yeah, because like when she asked me what we are, the first thing I said was, "What you mean, boyfriend, girlfriend?" I thought like we in this. Like I didn't hesitate. Like no, I'm not. I don't really know.
I'm not sure. 5 months also is close to half a year. You know by half a year if this is somebody that you would like to pursue something further with or not. So to be 100, and it doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you. He might just not be ready and won't tell you that directly. But I say don't waste your time on somebody like that. 5 months is enough time to know if you want to be with him in a more long-term way and vice versa. And someone, like Josh said, not giving you a direct answer after 5 months, they're playing. You don't have time.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with an indecisive man. Especially like if the man doesn't know what he wants, that means he's lacking direction in a lot of different aspects. You just want somebody on a more mature wavelength. Obviously, from what I'm getting, if you're a Virgo like her, you definitely want somebody with some direction.
And know for a fact that you should never have to like beg somebody to be with you or kind of like push them in the direction of like we should be together. If somebody want to be with you, they will be with you, period.
Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew. A word. Pew pew pew.
Thanks, babe. Next one. There's this guy I've been talking to on and off since last year. We had fell off for a little while, mainly because he was being really inconsistent. He told me that he was being inconsistent because he felt as though I wasn't really feeling him, mainly because I would never want to hang out, which wasn't the case. I just would rather get to know a person a little better before actually going out with them. Understandable. Anyway, we started talking again in March. Everything was good until about a week ago. He left me on delivered for 2 days, then texted me like nothing ever happened. Mind you, he was active on social media during those 2 days. Once social media getting people caught up.
Social media really getting people caught up.
Once he finally texts back, I didn't reply at all. Instead, I deleted his number and the message thread and removed him from my followers list on Instagram. He realized within a day that I had cut him off. He apologized and explained to me that he was dealing with school and military-related work and was stressed. When I brought up him being active on social media, he said he uses that as an outlet. After telling him how I felt and why I had cut him off, he asked for another chance and I gave him one. It's been literally 7 days since then and he is starting to be inconsistent again, replying 5 hours later or a day later, but I still be peeping him on social media. Should I just cut him off and move on? Because I feel like my time is clearly being wasted. I feel like she kind of just answered that for herself.
I kind of feel like you answered that question for yourself.
So let me try to answer this in a mature fashion. If I'm thinking maturely, I think that you should have a conversation with him about how that makes you feel, or if he is busy throughout the day, because sometimes you can be busy and still hop on like social media. Like you shouldn't be at a red light, but you know what I mean? And you'll hop on your social media and then it'll show you're active, even though you really don't have that much time. You're on the go somewhere. So with that being said, there might be times where he is technically too busy to continuously text back, but like social media is so quick and fast paced. People hop on there fast. So I would say have a conversation with him about how that makes you feel and if he could do better with communicating to you that he might be busy during that time and he'll hit you up later. I think it's the lack of communication on his side that's making her not know what to do.
Yeah.
If he was to be like, oh, I have this to do today, so if I'm slow texting you, this is why, or I can't really text that much today. Just being more communicative would help a lot with the situation.
Yeah.
However, because it keeps happening, I feel like 1, 2, 3 strikes type stuff, you're kind of out. If he keeps showing this pattern,
you don't want to hop on that train and then like he continually does this to you. Now I will say I would say open up that door and be like, hey, if you're gonna be busy for more than like 3 hours and like you can't respond,
like just let me know.
Hey, I'm gonna be busy throughout the day. I've seen the message. I see that. I would love to respond.
Be considerate of my feelings. I guess my thing though on the immature answer kind of would more so be like she had mentioned that he said social media helps him
as an outlet.
And realistically, how many men have the mentality to only be on social media for like what your feed looks like, helping you with fitness and blah, blah, blah. I guess only she would know kind of what his Instagram feed looks like, who he's following and stuff. And kind of base that answer of what he said, if it helps me, off of that.
On the same note though, like you could honestly just be at 2 different maturity levels and that's a good...
That too.
It's like until you figure out what's going on with you, maybe we should just part ways because I'm not trying to get strung along.
And waste my time on someone who's not ready for what I want. Yes. All right.
Okay. Hi guys. Love you guys so much. Love you too. I'm 20 years old and I've never been in a relationship. I feel like at my age I should have one down. LOL. My friends tell me that I have really high standards and to be honest, men really ain't ish out here because the first thing is, can I come over / want to come over, which makes me instantly cut them off. Advice on keeping an open mind. My standards aren't that bad to be honest. I just don't welcome situationships. Did that once and cut it off ASAP. I'm just looking for a guy who would want to get to know me by going on dates, spending time with me with no BB, and knows what they want. Times are hard. You're 20 years old. Okay, if you look at it on a lifespan, let's just say you're living 100 years. You haven't even hit the first quarter of your life. So don't settle and say to yourself, I need to get into a Josh and Issy relationship at 20 years old.
Well, don't say Josh and Issy relationship because people she's dealing with obviously ain't Josh energy.
That's true. So I would definitely say like, don't beat yourself up because you haven't gotten into a relationship. I think she's my first relationship.
Yeah, at 19, right?
Yeah.
You were 19 when we got together.
Literally like 3 days before turning 20.
Oh, true, right.
Yeah,
and I was gonna say too, there's pros and cons to relationships because to be 100 with you, the other 2 boyfriends that I had before Josh, so before 20,
they weren't the best.
It wasn't the best relationships. Like I learned from those experiences more so like what I want from my future partner, stuff like that. But like the reason I'm hesitating because I'm like I could have avoided a lot of hurt by just being more particular about who I decided to get in a relationship with. So I'm saying all that to say you don't really miss out on that much at the age of 20 on relationships when you were younger. For the most part, not all, but majority, high school relationships, grade school relationships, whatever, all of it's kind of childish a little bit. This was my first serious adult relationship, dating with intentions and stuff like that. So you're not like far behind the pack just because you've never had a boyfriend with a title and stuff like that. You probably have actually saved yourself from a lot of BS.
Another thing, I wouldn't be so quick to pull the trigger and be like, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. I think what you should do is more than likely like lay down your standards off rip. If they can handle it, they'll stick around. If they can't handle it, they'll remove themselves.
And maybe with some of them, because it's interesting because I've heard a lot of like single women talking about how men are always trying to like come over their place or vice versa. Some of them probably be on what you think they're on, the Netflix and chill vibe. But some of them also might just literally want to hang out, especially during quarantine, and not know what else to do. So maybe from your point of view, if you are thinking sometimes you might be tripping a little bit too hard, suggest like, instead of me going over there or you coming over here, how about we go
to the park?
Blah. Yeah, like make a destination of where to go, not in the intimacy of either one of you guys' homes though.
And I would definitely say like, don't set your standards down. Like don't ever say like,
yeah, definitely.
Don't ever shrink your standards, because at the end of the day, there's 7 billion plus people in this world.
Now I will say though, there is a difference. I feel like sometimes it can be gray area between having high standards and demanding perfection.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes I even struggle with that. Because like, I think it was today you were saying like, if your only complaint is that
she was complaining that like, gosh, what were we complaining about?
It was something
today?
Dumb.
I forget.
It was something really dumb. Let's just
dumb.
say like he's playing in my hair. I complain about him playing in my hair. And he's like, if that's your only complaint, then you're pretty well off.
Yeah.
So like, that's what there is some things that I still have to work on, because sometimes I do feel like I demand perfection from you instead of just holding you to my standards.
That's the Virgo energy though.
Yeah, there's a balance that you kind of have to like figure out within yourself. Ask yourself those questions of like, does this really like bother me? Is
really
this
really? Me?
Yeah. That was a long answer.
It was.
Hope you got the gist of it. This is my submission for Therapy Thursday. Love you guys. Love you too.
Love you too.
I'm 21 years old and I've been single for about 3+ years. Most, if not all, the guys who have approached me made me feel like they cared about what I liked and how I felt. And then they dropped the bomb. Want to be my beat friend? And state a relationship is not what they want right now. And the other half were in a relationship and wanted me as a side. This always takes a huge hit to my feelings. I'm not sexually active because I feel like everyone has ulterior motive. I've spoke to a few people about this and they've responded with, air quotes, you should try it, you're young, or just play the game, or don't take relationships and beep so seriously, or you should date older guys instead, not your age. Do you think I'm taking things too seriously? Thanks for listening. #QualityCrew.
You don't necessarily have to go into the older age bracket, but I would say look for more mature men.
How did she say she was? 21.
I would say look for more mature, like you can sense maturity. It doesn't necessarily have to be an age thing, because I'm not saying go out here and find a 27-year-old while you're 21. No, don't do that. But there's like mature young adults that can kind of be on the same wavelength. And you have to understand that the majority of the population is probably on some ain't-ish time when you're talking about men. So like, it's not gonna be, 5 out of 5 guys are like super quality, want a relationship, want to settle down, especially in the 20 to 25 age range. Men feel like this is the peak of their life. They're not gonna necessarily want to be tied down. They're gonna want to like explore, live life. So like when I say find a mature man, you gotta find somebody that's like, I know what I want. I feel like we just so happen to stumble across each other, and I just so happen to know what I want at the time. I feel like I was very different, and like even talking with like Patrell, I feel like he was very different. And we feel like very often we
Y'all are rare.
Yeah, we're rare.
Uh-huh.
So like you have to understand that these kind of things are rare to find guys that don't necessarily care about the deep.
I don't think she's taking things too seriously. I think you're smart about how you're going about it. Like, it's another thing of like the whole standards thing. Maintain your standards. If you don't want to be somebody's beat buddy and stuff like that,
don't do it.
You shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't ever feel like you have to fold or lower your standards just for someone to want to be with you. And any way, shape, or form. Because she said some of them want her to be a side, other ones just want,
That's wild.
The right person will come around that will want you for the same reason that you want them and treat you as such. So until then, just don't settle.
And I will say, to be honest, you're probably saving yourself a lot of headache and heartache, because if these guys are on that type of time, and then let's just say you do end up catching feelings for one, do you think that they're gonna change?
You know what, too? I really related to this because that time period before me and you got together that I was kind of single, I kind of like had a situationship where at one point I was thinking like, oh, maybe if I like am intimate with him or whatever, he'll stay around, or he'll then decide to wife
Drop
me,
all
or and I didn't end up doing it, and it is like the opposite of my biggest regret. My biggest...
You feel good about it.
Yeah, really basically. Because I remember like getting advice from other guy friends who were actually like, oh, saying the things that people air quoted her, like, it's just BB, or, you know, it's just fun. And I know and that's another thing too. You gotta know yourself. I knew in my heart, I'm too emotional and sensitive for me to like offer myself to someone in that way and it not be like cherished. You know what I mean? So if you know yourself, you know that you're someone who cannot handle the games and stuff like that. Even when you open yourself to someone and like I'm vulnerable with them in that way,
don't settle.
Nah.
You don't have to settle. Ladies, you really don't have to settle. If you have standards, now there's a difference between realistic and, like you said, perfection. But if your standards are just basically like, he likes me for me.
Yeah.
Like,
he wants to only be with me. And
he has a job.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't have kids.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like these are realistic standards that you can hold to a man and say like.
Definitely.
But if you're saying like, he needs 6 figures at the age of 21. He needs to be like an NFL player. Like, he needs to have all that. Good D, 6'2", big muscles, smart mind.
You copied off an old girl from freaking Married at First Sight.
I mean, kind of, but like, I have a problem with not being able to speak up when things around me are bad. For example, if my brother, he's 18, is talking disrespectfully to my sibling or my mom, she's a single parent, like calling her a B and refusing to help around the house, how do I go about solving it? Things are peaceful, but it happens here and there. Whenever you see like a conflicting problem and then like you naturally just put yourself in it, whether that's speaking up or like helping somebody out if you see something wrong's happening, I call that a hero complex. I feel like at some point that'll kick in.
That one's kind of a hard one. And I think it's different strokes for different folks, because I personally I've always easily been able to be that person where if I see something wrong, whether I know the people are not involved, I'll speak up. Like if I see somebody getting bullied or something, I don't care if I know them or not, I'm gonna be like, that's not cool. But I know not everybody has that level of like confidence, or just don't like confrontation like that.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's kind of hard for me to give advice on, because for me it's like, just say something. But you're kind of non-confrontational.
I'm very non-confrontational in terms of a lot of things. Sadly enough, as time has gone on, I've just had to grow more comfortable with being a tad bit confrontational. From my management experience, I've learned that like you will sort of get ran over if you're not confrontational at all. Like opposing opinions or opposing views is gonna be considered confrontation, and it's gonna make you uncomfortable, because it made me uncomfortable. Whenever someone had an opposing opinion to me, I would try and like ease my way into it. But you have to know at the end of the day, those are normal. And like, that's not gonna make or break a relationship if you speak up on a certain topic. Like saying, yo, you need to stop talking to mom like that.
Or like back off.
Yeah, like back off. He's not gonna be like, oh, we can't be brothers and sisters anymore.
Right, that's true,
like,
that's true.
I feel like the fear of the outcome is what stops a lot of people from speaking up.
Definitely.
And you just have to know that like, there's actually probably more of a positive on the other side of speaking up, because you come to a better sense of peace and clarity. So
there's 2 ways they can go about it too, or they can do both. The one way of like, when it happens again, speaking up, like back off, and or if like, especially, I don't know the relationship they have with that older brother, but if it's kind of on the closer side, kind of just sitting them down and having that difficult conversation that we're always talking about.
After the confrontation.
Like, sometimes I feel like some people who act irrational like that don't even realize how ridiculous they're acting. And so then maybe if you're like talking to him from your perspective, maybe as the younger sibling or whatever, and kind of explaining like, you shouldn't treat mom like that, blah, 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 blah. That might trigger him in a positive way. Not trigger.
I don't want to use the word trigger.
Yeah, trigger's not the right word.
Because trigger normally means a negative connotation. I want to say like, come to him with how it makes you feel. When you curse at your mother like that, when you curse at our mom like that, it it scares me, it makes me sad, and it's our mother at the end of the day. I really think you should work on it, because at the end of the day, like, you can't get another mama. That's your mama.
And if that conversation doesn't work, then you should just start speaking up and saying back off.
Yeah.
I personally would. Nobody's gonna disrespect my mom, sibling, stranger, whatever. Like,
there's a boiling point, and like you might not have reached it yet because you might be young. But I'll tell you what, you gonna reach a boiling point if it really gets under your skin, and you're gonna say something.
Also, it might not be a bad idea to have a talk with the mom.
Yeah.
Kind of ask your mom, why does she let the brother act like that, and blah, 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 yeah. Because at the end of the day, I don't know if it's a male or female that sent that in, but regardless, that sounds like something kind of traumatizing for a kid to go through and experience on the regular, and that kind of can mess up somebody's perspective of how adulthood is supposed to be, how people are supposed to treat you and stuff like that. So, yeah. I wanted to ask for some advice. My boyfriend and I, who I've been with for a year, have been happy until now. Recently, I was diagnosed asymptomatic with the coronavirus, and for the past 3 weeks, I've been isolated alone in a room at my mom's house. Yes, my boyfriend would call / FaceTime me a few times a day / every day, but other than that, not once did he offer to bring me anything or even try to show up for a short visit during this unfortunate time. I feel like he doesn't care. If the tables were turned, I would have been there a lot more for him. Long story short, I want to talk to him about it, but I want some advice on if I'm overreacting and creating expectations, or is it something he should have done or thought to do on his own as my boyfriend. That can go a lot of different ways because this virus is so deadly in some cases, and I hope that you're doing okay, by the way.
Yeah, I really hope you're all right.
I think that was a hard one only because I don't know who's at home with him. I know for me, something that me and Josh definitely struggle with, especially in the beginning of all of this, my mom is older, so we're very careful about who we're interacting with, what stores we're coming from, and because we don't want to bring that to her. So maybe, just maybe, the reason he hasn't showed up and offered to come over is because he's trying to protect his family at his house. And that's something that you kind of have to consider during this pandemic. I don't think it would be a bad thing for you to mention it to him, how it kind of makes you feel, but don't completely go like Hulk mode on him and upset about it, because this is a very touchy situation that everybody is experiencing right now.
Oh gosh, I don't want to say you're tweaking, but I kind of want to say you're tweaking just a little bit, because the coronavirus, we have now found out, is airborne. You don't even know you have it until like it's too late. And to say you want him to come visit you is like basically saying, I want you to come put yourself in danger. To come see me. Yeah. Like if I had the coronavirus, I would not want you anywhere near me. I would be like, just until I get over it.
And I get what she means though. Like,
yeah. I mean, maybe it would be nice for him to drop off a little care package.
Right, not come in or something like that. Not come in or
just say like, hey, I dropped you off something.
But boys aren't as thoughtful as girls in that way. He ain't gonna do no care package unless you say something realistic.
Realistically, man, I'm at year 5 and I think I just caught on to a whiff of that. Like if something would happen, I think I just caught on to like going above and beyond the normal expectation.
To make me feel comfortable or whatever.
Like if she was in that position 2 years ago, I don't know if I would have done that. But in this point, yes, I know I would have, because now I'm just more attentive to like her feelings and what she knows and learns.
And they've been together for a year.
You guys have been together about a year.
Yeah, still getting to know each other.
It's just, every situation is kind of different in that moment. So I don't want to say like you're tweaking, and I don't want to say he's tweaking, because like coronavirus is something new, it's something serious, and it's something dangerous.
Very serious, exactly. So that's why I'm kind of like, I think it's a conversation that you should have with him. I just don't, make sure you don't spaz though. Yeah. Express how it makes you feel, that it kind of hurts your feelings, and he might end up like telling you why he hasn't done those things, so you have a little bit more clarity. I think it's just a lack of communication y'all are having right now.
And I wouldn't be too hard on him or yourself and say like, oh, he doesn't care about me because he hasn't dropped off a package or like that.
Right. If he's FaceTiming you and talking to you every day, as he should.
Yeah. You guys are honestly relatively fresh in the relationship, so like you still have a lot of growth to do. Like we said, we just graduated and we're just now in the blending and accelerating phase of our relationship. So like that all takes time. So just be delicate.
Get well soon, actually.
Please get well soon. Yeah. I will pray for you. I know no one else does, but we'll pray for you. This married man I used to work with has been pursuing me since my birthday in October last year consistently. He is a really cool dude, so initially when I met him, knowing he was married, we just became what I thought was cordial work pals, where he has grown a slight obsession, literally not allowing me to not just be his friend or exit his life without popping up in random ways. He has been ignored and blocked, and he still figures out a way.
You sound like it's on the verge of needing a restraining order.
I feel like
it's not something to joke about.
I feel like that, or start with something simple as like, I know you're married, you need to leave me alone.
But she said that she's tried to like...
She ignored and blocked him. But at this point, if he's ignoring the signs of being ignored and blocked, then you need to say, you're a married man and you need to leave me alone.
So you think at least give him a chance before the restraining order?
Before the restraining order, and informing his wife. He's whole married and he's still doing all this extra stuff?
Yeah, but if he's doing extra stuff, that kind of makes it seem like he's kind of an unstable person in the first place. And I feel like you telling his wife might make this man act real
it
interesting.
Could, but
that's what I'm saying. I think she should just straight up tell him
leave
in
me
a
alone.
Public space. Don't be anywhere like private by yourself with this man. But like be like basically, yeah, like leave me alone. I know you're married. I'm not interested in like partaking in any of what you kind of got going on. If he still doesn't listen to that, then head to the police station for sure. Therapy Thursday. My now ex-boyfriend, parentheses, this situation made me stop dealing with him, has a co-worker in his life that I've never met or known about. There has been 2 situations where I've had to ask him who she is because her social media post doesn't seem too co-worker friendly. The last situation, she posted a picture of them on her Instagram story with a caption, "We're feeling good tonight," with the emoji with the 3 hearts, little smiley. And I flipped on him. He always tells me it's not that, but I keep telling him it's not that doesn't make me feel secure enough to actually believe it's not that. What would you guys have done in that situation? Do you stay or do you go? I think you did the right thing. That man is playing. There's no reason in hell any woman will ever or should ever put Josh on their Instagram story with some
heart emojis.
Some heart emojis, flirting.
We're feeling good tonight.
Absolutely not.
That's a
absolutely.
I'm telling y'all, stop acting like social media isn't a part of relationships.
Definitely.
It definitely is like public signals.
And he's saying it's not that means that he's enabling. If it isn't that, he really isn't trying to blah blah. He's enabling the co-worker.
Yeah.
By not shutting that down immediately.
A real man, if he cares about his woman, is gonna put that other woman in check.
Definitely.
If not completely just separated. Like I wouldn't even get into a work relationship like that to where I'd be on some other female. So woo! I'm not trying to die.
And the one time that we had an incident where you took a picture with a girl, I lost it.
Lost her mind. I didn't even think anything of it. It was in college and I was like this and I took a photo like just walking by and the next thing you know she lost. Yo, never. I'm telling you, it's not, especially if it's like he's defending it.
Yeah,
you should leave. Hi guys, first off, I love watching you guys because I normally don't watch YouTube couples because of the pranks, but y'all put your relationship over the cloud, which is so authentic. Good shot.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions if y'all could give advice on. 1, I'm Indian and my man is black. We both have the same intentions as far as the relationship is pointing toward marriage. His family loves me and welcomed me with open arms. I've been waiting to tell my family because we are very traditional and always married within the culture. I'm waiting to tell my sister next year so that they can't use the excuse that we are too young. Despite us being in college, it's just an Indian mindset thing. But what's the best way of telling my family because I've hid our relationship for almost 2 years? This sounds like a movie. This is some real stuff. You can't live your life for your parents. I mean, you could, but I guarantee you 10, 15, some point down the road, years later, you will resent them because you were trying to live your life for to please them. My parents, your parents, they had their lives and they had to live their lives. They raised us as best they could, but at some point,
it's our decision.
It's your decision to live the life you want to live. and I don't want to draw no lines between parents and their children.
Right, and that's difficult because I know some cultures are very like, I can see how that can be hard for sure, but I do think it's so important to always put your happiness above anything else. Even if that, and I don't know what it feels like to be in that situation, because I know some people can go as far as like cutting their kid off because they do something they don't like, but I guess that's something you kind of need to prepare yourself for if you feel like this is somebody you really want to spend the rest of your life with. If you feel that this person in this relationship is kind of worth the potential of things getting that bad, you know what I mean? Like,
I would say, start with telling your sister. I want to say don't tell your parents until like you know. You want to drive them into like a turmoil over some dude. Like, if you know this is the dude and like you guys are like serious and like whole time you said marriage was like you wanted to marry him, so like you know this on the line, then yes, you're gonna have to have that difficult conversation with your parents, and you have to come to them with the expression of like, hey, I love you,
this is what makes me happy,
but this is what makes me happy at the end of the day. I don't feel like I'll find somebody else that meets my compatibility like him. Or like, I just know what I feel. And I know that's love, and at the end of the day, that's for you to decide. But don't wait too long. I wouldn't wait till the day of marriage to tell them.
Yeah, definitely not.
But yeah, don't live your life for your parents. Live your life.
Hey guys, I've been dating this guy for a little over 2 years and things have been great. He's 4 years older than me and very successful financially while I'm in college trying to figure out what I want to be. He's at a point where he wants to settle down, but I don't want to become dependent on him because he already does a lot. What should I do? I think that if he loves you and you guys' relationship is already heading in the right direction, then why rush it? Like, he will be willing to wait until you have figured that out for yourself. Because I think it is very important for both parties to be very independent, especially women when it comes to relationships and marriages and stuff like that. That's happened so much in the past where women have become, and not even, it still kind of happens unfortunately now, where women become so financially dependent on a man, even though the marriage and the relationship is awful and toxic, they have to stay.
Yeah, they'll stick around.
You never want to be in a situation like that, not to like wish that upon you or see anything like that. But I think it's just always important to kind of have a security or a net or a backup plan. And your backup plan would be your degree and you figuring out what you want to do just for yourself. If he really cares about you in the relationship, then he'll be willing to wait. It's no rush in that. Him being 4 years older than her, but she's in college means he's still in his 20s. The time will come. He'll be okay. Definitely you're on the right path of thinking about not wanting to be dependent on somebody. That doesn't mean that you don't want him to take care of you or that he should never
provide.
It doesn't mean that he doesn't get to provide for you. It just kind of makes that stance in the sand of like, okay, you can provide for me, but don't get it twisted. I can always provide for myself. I think that's so important. So, you happy with that answer? You agree?
Don't let that slide. Don't let that Virgo energy slide on that one. This one says, me and my boyfriend, I'm 21, he's 23, have been dating for 2 years. When we first started dating, it was pretty easy to sit down and have talks with him. But ever since year 2 of our relationship, which started in March, I try to have sit-down talks with him, but for the most part, he becomes so stubborn and doesn't see my side of things. I've been patient with him up to this point, but right now, I'm not sure if I'm giving him too many chances to continue to be stubborn. I guess. Or it's just a rough patch and he'll mature as a person. Have you and Josh ever gone through something like this? Thank you so much for Therapy Thursdays. I love you guys. We love you too.
Have you seen our year 1, 2, 3, and 4,
1, 2, 3, and 4.
No, you know what though? The reason that we were able to get through those was because of your willingness to want to be better. And that's the thing. I don't know if you were just stubborn like that. I don't think we would have made it. To be honest, and I think that's the problem. It's not abnormal to go through rough patches in year 2, 3, whatever. There's no really time period for any couple of when are we finally gonna get through this. I feel like one day we just looked up and we were like, we're good. I think we're on the same page now.
We haven't fought or anything like that in a while, so I feel like we're on the right path.
So I feel like it is important to still continue having those long conversations with each other like you guys did in the beginning of the relationship, because I think that's something that's kept our relationship strong too. Just talking with each other. The way she described it though, saying that whenever they tries to have a long talk with him, his stubbornness gets in the way, makes me think it's maybe her trying to tell him something that bothers her, not just a typical conversation. And I guess my question would be, how about you try to just have a free conversation, whether it be like, what are your goals? Or how have you been lately? Try to tap into his emotions and vulnerability before spitting something out at him about like, I don't like that you do this and this needs to change, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? There's a certain approach to the conversation.
Yeah, and I appreciate sometimes with our conversations, we sort of start surface level and ease into the deeper questions. It's not like we need to talk. You sit me down and you hit me directly between the eyes, like off rip. Because then like that can definitely make a person like, especially if you're telling them about themselves, you can instantly go defense mode and be like, all right, cool, I'm not trying to have this talk. Whereas like if you hit it with like mentally, physically, emotionally, how are you feeling, seeking to understand first, then be understood, like trying to.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you like work your way into the conversation. Then you can kind of get to a mutual ground where you guys are having good conversation and you're getting to know each other again. And I feel like that's probably what happened with you guys in year one. You were both just seeking to understand each other a little bit better. It wasn't as like, we need to talk about this. And I need like, and I say that very gingerly because I don't know how you guys' conversations look right now, but I would say my best advice in that situation is kind of ease into it and try and understand before trying to be understood. The conversation goes way better when both parties are trying to understand each other, because then like it's a very fluid conversation. I let you talk because I'm trying to understand you, then you want to see how you can understand me, so you let me talk, and then we have like a good back and forth. But if you're just going in straight like, you need to understand me, you don't do this, you don't do that, I don't like this, you don't sit down and talk with me anymore, like why don't you want to talk to me? Like if you start hitting him with questions like that, interrogating, he's gonna shut down. Most guys do. It happens. I shut down. When she comes to me like directly, I kind of shut down. It's a flaw I have, but it happens. So yeah, seek first to understand, then be understood.
Alright y'all, last one. My boyfriend and I are seniors about to go to different colleges, 10 hours away. We have talked about what the best decision for us could be, but we have still made no decision. Every time we talk about it, I feel like he's leaning towards not being together, even though he doesn't say it. I feel like I'm waiting to break up. So my question is, does it make sense to be in a relationship up to the point we leave, or are we wasting time? I had a very similar situation to this actually. My ex was a year older than me in high school, so he went to college first. And the initial goal was to stay together up until he left for college. Like that day we were gonna be done. I came up with the idea, how about we knock this out early in terms of breaking up.
That's because you
okay.
She had a side piece.
No, but I'm saying that to say, that's kind of a hard one, because I feel like even though me and him did break up early, I still hung out with him and stuff as if we were together. That shit, it's just hard to let each other go, honestly.
I would say like, if you guys really care about each other and like you're fond of the relationship, it's not necessarily like, oh, I need him in my life forever, but like if you just enjoy the relationship,
might as well just finish the summer out.
Finish it out, and then when you guys part ways, at least you part ways on great notes. And I know a great thing about life is that if it's meant to be,
it'll come back.
It'll come back. And if you guys end on a high note, instead of saying like, yeah, let's just cut it here.
And then he might be starting to mess with somebody during the summer that you'll find out about, or vice versa. Feelings do get hurt that way. Ooh, that's a hard one.
Ride it out. I would personally say ride it out through the summer. There's no need like trying to go find another certain someone or whatever. Don't deprive yourself of a good loving if it's a good loving.
But all right, you guys, I actually truly enjoyed DM Edition Therapy Thursday.
DM Edition was nice.
Let us know in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you guys think that we should continue just doing DM Edition instead of like the shorter ones? Because it seems like you guys were able to get a lot more out, and we were able to get better context to answering y'all's questions.
Yeah.
I personally really enjoyed this.
I actually did enjoy the Therapy Thursday DM Edition.
Yes. So we actually had a lot more that we could have done, but the video would have just went on and on and on.
Forever.
So if you guys want us to continue doing these, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment below hashtag more Therapy Thursday DMs.
Hashtag DM Edition.
Yes, thank you. Hashtag DM Edition, and we will keep these coming.
But yeah, be on the lookout for some more videos coming soon, because we post very often. For all you newbies who don't know, I know you waited this far. I know you've seen this whole video, so you might as well hit that subscribe button and that bell button, because we got plenty more content coming your way with that quality. All that. But if you don't already know, I am Hydrated Hero. She is African Beauty. Together we are Josh and Isi. Now you can follow one of us. You can follow two of us. You can follow all three of us. You might as well follow all three of us because we are happy, healthy, and hydrated on all three. But other than that, y'all, until we meet again, peace, love, hair grease, and we out. That's my fruit-infused water that she's drinking because I like healthy water. Don't drink it all. Dang. Dang.
But all right, you got... Can we close this?
Bro, drink like half of it.
Nick, bro, it definitely wasn't at the top, honey.
It was.
It wasn't. Can we close this video, babe? Please.
Took my water. You don't have to sugarcoat me. I'm a solid rock. I am your rock. Rock. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to flatter me up. Thick skin, baby. Thick skin.
Right there.
Right there. I'm looking at it. Subscribe. You want to click that button.
You know you
click it.
Also, check this video out
right here.
Might as well.
That's quality.
Quality.
Quality. Right
Quality
there.
content.
It's quality.
And
of course,
you might as well be right here.
You might as well be
right there.
Because this one's quality too. All this
quality.
You cook anything you want.
Quality.